Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of StarCraft Inc. As you guys know, we are working on a series, a best of 3, between ST Bomber and EG Idra. The map is Metalopolis, as you saw in the little intro thingamadoodle that I threw together for you guys. And EG Idra is spawning in the top of this map as the red Zerg, and Bomber spawning is the blue Terran in the bottom of this map. This is MLG. This is Game 3. This is for all the cojones, if it is cojones they want to win. I really hope not, because I always think of testicles when I hear that word, and I really want to think that they're not playing for testicles. But anyway, Game 1 went to Idra. Game 2 went to Bomber. And I hope you guys have watched those games already, because they're epic, and I don't want to have ruined them for you. But you need to know that to know what's going on here. Anyway, yeah, this is going to be a pretty awesome game. A couple people, well, I shouldn't say a couple people. One guy who's not even subscribed to me was like, your channel sucks because you aren't very analytical. So I can be analytical if you want, but really I just cast these games for entertainment purposes. I mean, I'm not a pro player, so I have no right really analyzing the game, and most of the people who watch don't even play StarCraft, so they don't really give a shit. They just want to watch a good match, right? Right. So I'll leave the analytical shit to Day 9, because he does it best, and right now I am giving you a source of entertainment. So a little bit of a high five going on there. EG Idra's drone passing the SCV, whoop-a-doo, and we're seeing a fast expand from Bomber, a fast expand from Idra. Both these players seem to be fine with letting each other just macro up, and then really letting each other duke it out later, you know, late game. Like, who was better at macroing, who has the bigger army, who has the better micro in the midfield, who has the best decision making. And cancelled bunker, as EG Idra does spot it. It was kind of obvious too. I don't know what the whole plan was there, but that's 25 minerals lost for our Terran player Bomber, and really nothing made of it. I think maybe it's just a fake out to get his opponent to overreact, hopefully, but you know, EG Idra is not gonna overreact. He knows exactly the numbers he needs. That's one thing that I've always been impressed by Idra, his ability to calculate on the run. He knows like everything math-wise in terms of, you know, I don't know, I've heard him talk in interviews. If you've ever listened to him speak, he knows what time things are, you know, how much it is possible for his opponent to have without scouts in his opponent's base. He has like an amazing idea of what his opponent has. So he's a scary motherfucker with good macro and good control, and he's a good Zerg player, guys. And he actually just won a big tournament. Last cast I was like, oh yeah, EG Idra, that guy hasn't won anything in a long time. And then he goes and wins like the Asus Invitational. Asus is like their electronics company. I think they make monitors and motherboards and stuff like that. Asus, however you want to say it. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Idra just won that, and that was pretty cool. So I'm glad to see him winning again, because I do respect him as a player. He is very skilled, and the BM hasn't been bad, actually. I think he turned that around, and I think his BM is what made him so famous for a while. But I'd like to see his famousness, his favoritism come from his strong play, because he is a strong player. Anyway, we are going to see Bomber finally get this expansion going and walling it with a piddly little supply depot wall. It's Baneling food, if you ask me. But anyway, a hatchery, a third one going down for Idra, getting really greedy with that macro. But he knows that Bomber can't really put on much aggression. And as I stand corrected, a bunch of Marines are going to cross the map. This isn't too much to deal with. Like with 1 or 2 spine crawlers and 1 wave of lings and like 3 queens, Idra could hold this off pretty easily, and that's what you'd expect him to have with 3 bases. And so we are going to see there are 2 queens here. There's an Evo chamber going down. He's got no spine crawler. Oh, 1 spine crawler. Okay, he's got 1 spine crawler. He's going to have to pull his drones for this one. He's got 12 lings on the way. Speed is not quite done. These are going to get here before speed finishes, which is going to be bad for Idra. And this spine crawler is way too far up. It's going to go down so fast. The queen is going to get focused down, does not pull back in time. And the spine crawler is doing quite a bit of DPS, but it will go down here. The queen gets away with its life. Another spine crawler starting, pretty much acting as fodder, just buying time so Idra can clean this up with its queens and his lings and have more lings spawn. Speed is almost finished. and it's going to finish any time now. Their speed is now done, trying to keep his queens alive. Idra is going to manage to survive this. I think the spine crawler is now up, making Idra very safe. But what Bomber did do is pick off 2 queens and make Idra spend money and larva on lings and not drones. So I would say that was a good push for Bomber. It did what it needed to do, and he's going to throw up his 3rd. But here comes Idra with a counterattack, a very smart counterattack, but Bomber positioned well. These supply depots actually set up well. He needs to raise that supply depot. Or not, he's just going to walk out. But he kind of needs to, right? He can't just sit in that space or he will lose everything he's building. I'm surprised Idra didn't stop to take out this SCV here, building the command center. That would have been annoying and funny. But he will actually just block this expansion here so that the command center cannot go up for free. Of course, Bomber morphing it into an orbital command before it flies. That way he can get use of the mule while it is in transition. So, guys, keep that in mind. Don't make it a command center here, lift it up, fly it over here, land it, and then orbital command it. Because you could have a mule in the meantime if you make it an orbital command first. Yeah, you can. So, we got these lings chilling out front. I don't think he's going to make any more for a while. He's just getting weapons upgrade 1 for those. And we are seeing combat shields and stim just finishing for the Marines. So we are seeing a heavy infantry style play once again from Bomber. And, you know, Marine tank is so powerful. Why not, right? And then a couple Thors in the mix to defend against Muta, which is a very common play style from Idra. And Zerg in general. And he's getting that Spire once again. This game looks so similar to every other ZVT we've watched in this series. Which I guess they're all ZVTs, but you know what I'm trying to say. This is like a mirror match to all the other games, and Idra successfully stalling this orbital command from landing, and a couple Marines here to defend. 1 Ling going forward to scout to see what's here. He does realize that there are a few Marines here to spot and defend, so he can't do much damage. If he tries, he'll lose all his Zerglings. So, moving on in this game, we do see Baneling tech coming out for Idra, or already done, I should say. A couple Banelings on the field, and these Lings are ready to be Banelings at any time. However, Idra is definitely pooling up resources to spit out a shit ton of Muta when that Spire finishes. That is what we are seeing. We do have a macro hatch here, and Idra taking his 4th, as aggression is not going to... Every time I say this, Bomber decides to push. But yeah, here a large Marine force spread out nicely. This is like a Marine King Prime sort of build, just nothing but Marines. They've got no upgrades though, which is odd. So Idra had the tower. He sees this coming. And this 4th base is going to put Bomber in a sticky situation when he tries to push it, right? Because he's going to come in here and attack this expansion. And his units will be... Oh, he's not even going to go for that. He's going for the 3rd, but there are a lot of Lings and Banelings there. There's a Spine Crawler. Spine Crawler will go down here. And here come the Lings. Oh, no, maybe not. A Muta are in the mix now. And that, here we go. How's this going to go down for Bomber? He's not even attacking with all his Marines. Some of them stimmed and didn't engage right away. And all of that's going to get cleaned up by Idra. And there are more here. Wow, I didn't even know how many were here. A constant stream of Marines coming from Bomber. And Idra is going to deal with it fine, though. Bomber's going to have to regroup and pull back. Just so much production from Bomber. Holy shit. So many Marines. A stim goes down trying to catch those Muta and those Lings. I think it was a bit of a wasted stim as he did not even meet up with them. The scan should go down to clear some creep out, but no, he's just going to march right on to the creep. Why the hell not? And this hatchery is finished. If Bomber can take it out, it's going to be good. He's going to have to, or he's kind of behind. He's only on 3 bases. And a Baneling makes contact. More will make contact as well. Bomber losing all his Marines. Idra is too good to lose to something like this. It's very gimmicky from Bomber. And even with good control, it's just got so many weaknesses. And there it goes. Lings like Marines. It's like fucking candy. And Bomber's got to pull back. And these Muta are going to start making trouble for him, although Bomber's expecting it. And he does manage to cancel a missile turret. E.g. Idra does. So he's going to shift build those missile turrets. Oh no, he's got 2 separate... Good call. Guys, a lot of people are like, they'll take an SCV and they'll shift click to make 2 missile turrets with the same SCV, but it's always better to just take two SCVs, build 2 separate missile turrets at the same time, shift click them back to the mineral line. Good little newbie trick. All pros do that already, but I mean, if you're Bronze League or Silver or anything, if you didn't know that already, use that piece of advice because it's very useful. And yeah, Mutas are gonna kind of rip apart missile turrets and barracks, but a few Marines get here in time. Bomber's lucky that Idra didn't decide to turn around and rip these Marines to pieces, because he didn't have enough to deal damage to those Muta. Sorry, my throat's getting a little bit dry. I'm going to take a drink. Hopefully nothing happens. Alrighty, back in the mix. Stim goes down. Scan goes down as well. Checking for planted banelings. The Lings push back into the Marines. The Marines, holy shit, go down to some banelings. So many Marines spread out backwards though. And the Muta, there's just a huge, huge ball of Muta. Bomber needs Thor so badly, but Bomber has managed to take the Gold Expo and fully saturate it. Missile turrets going up. Wow, Idra pulled back before even having seen that Gold Expo. So many Lings coming out for Idra, just so many Lings. I don't know how Bomber plans to deal with this with nothing but Marines and just a constant stream of Marines at that. But I think he needs more production as he's starting to get on like 4 bases, especially when one of them is the gold base. You can pump so many Marines off that. He's not quite spending all his minerals, and he's not spending any of his gas. Jesus Christ. I'd like to see him shit out a bunch of Ravens or a bunch of Thors. And a couple Lings get in here, actually. This is almost a PF, and then everything will be fine. So, there it is. And those Lings are dead. Oh, that was so much fun to watch. Sorry for all you Zerg fans, but setting Lings on fire is like a pastime of mine. Anyway, we're going to see Mutalisks come into the base and cause some trouble for Bomber. But it is, well, it didn't have to be deflected. I mean, Idra could easily take any of those missile turrets. They pretty much one-shot them with that many Muta, especially with Weapons 1. And a bunch of banelings on the way for Idra. Factories on the way for Bomber. A couple of them. Oh no, those are all barracks. I know there's a factory somewhere. I'm not really sure where it is. But it's in the production tab. There it is. So will we see Thor? We've got Tech Labs going down. He'll need that armory. And it'll probably be on the way shortly. However, we are seeing medevacs, and it's about time too. That'll really help him deal with the Muta, I think. I feel anyway. You know, heal up the ones that are taking splash damage. And oh my god, so many Ling Baneling. And you know, Bomber does see it as he's got his Marines split across the map like this, spreading out his Marines in advance to kind of net them as they try to run through the gauntlet of Marines, splitting them out like Red Alert style. If any of you have played Command and Conquer, hitting that key to split your Marines or your infantry, it looks like that's how he did it. But of course, that is just pure awesome micro, and so many Ling Baneling, more than Bomber had Marines for. But look at this reinforcing wave, pulling some back to have some survivors. This bunker almost going down. The Muta have to pull back as there is no ground support to protect them. And this is such an amazing game. Kind of repetitive as all that Bomber is building as Marines, but I can't believe it's working like this. Bomber almost playing a Zerg style, just like with incredible reproduction rate. It's just amazing play. It really takes some good positioning, good scouting, good micro to make something like this work. And just, yeah, so here Idra kind of going with the same philosophy. I'm going to build a lot of one thing and wreck shit with it. And when you've got something like Muta or something like Marine, why the hell not, right? If it works, use it. And it most certainly works. A barracks going down. Idra really starting to worry about the production rate of these Marines, trying to get rid of barracks. I don't even know what to tell you guys. It almost seems like Bomber is spitting out more Marines for less cost than Idra can throw back at him. But this Ling Baneling is just so scary. There's so many of them. Idra's macro is so good as he is on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases, taking the gold, and Bomber now just taking his 5th. So they will be even now. And yeah, we'll see how this goes down. But Bomber has mined out the gold base, and I want to take a look at the units lost. This is going to be insane. So actually, the Terran player has lost more resources and units than Idra has, as Idra keeps losing Banelings and Lings. And yeah, now there's siege tanks in the mix, which I don't know what the plan for them is. Oh my god, kind of walling with the siege tanks. I don't know what the plan for that was, but it wasn't a good one. And wow, I feel like that Bomber just lost way too much there. Muta kind of manhandling that Thor. So many Marines being produced in a wave of reinforcements. A bunch of medevacs here to heal up those Marines after the stim. And these hit and run tactics for Idra are really working well. However, those Lings are cornered. It's kind of a chance for Bomber to get up there and take them out. But no, I don't think he realizes they're still there. And is going to get hit with Banelings from the top. And they're not even in the sensor tower ring. Scan going down to... oh, there was almost a free Infestor, but the Infestor did spot those Marines because of the creep and fungal growth them. They will all get surrounded and mauled. Great play by Idra, cornering Bomber when he was on the creep. And, cornering. They were in open freaking ground. A couple Lings came in here to harass and were mowed down by this planetary fortress. And not going to be a good day for any Ling that steps in range of that. Hells yeah. Anyway, bunch of Muta flying over here. The same ones from before. These ones are just baller. They've all got a handful of kills on them, like 1, 4, 3, 4, 4, 1 sort of dealy. And missile turning in range of those. And a bunch of Marines going to come back to try and defend. Gas taken out by Muta. Every little bit counts, as gas is important to a Terran player trying to deal with mass Muta. He wants Thors. So he's got 900 in the bank, but, you know, like I said, time is money, and every little bit counts. Losing that geyser is a little bit annoying. And the Marines are going to get some free Lings. Those ones were by themselves, and it's going to make Idra's army that much smaller when he gets across the map. We do have Corruptors on the way and more upgrades, as well as air and ground upgrades, I should say. And spreading out his Marines so far. They are so sparse. Siege tanks in the back. This is a good spread for Bomber. And when the Lings try to engage, it's just going to be so much splash damage for them. And there are Infestors here getting shelled by tanks. Fungal growth goes down. That's a good fungal growth. Bunch of Marines cleaning up some Lings that tried to engage them. Broodlords in the mix now. And I didn't realize there were any out. We're seeing 168 supply for Bomber, 151 to Idra, but those numbers are juggling back and forth, and Broodlords are a little bit better than Marines, especially with this much dead space on a map. Like, they can abuse high ground and dead space and just all sorts of it on this map. Good map for Broodlords, that is for sure. Anyway, yeah, no, Bomber, this is a pretty even game. Especially since Bomber is really dragging out his resources. I mean, he's making them last. Idra's been on all these bases for quite some time. However, he's not completely saturated at any of these bases. And these Marines are going to do some damage to these spine crawlers. But that's all the spine crawlers are there for, is to delay. Oh, we got a second push over here at the gold. Does Idra have enough to deal with it? I think so. With these Broodlords and these Corruptors, Infestors, I mean. He should have more than enough. And because of the Broodlings that are coming from the Broodlords, the siege tanks are killing his own Marines. So he's forced to unsiege and back up, as that is not an engagement that is good for him. He needs more Vikings. He needs something to get rid of these Broodlords, because he can't deal with the Infestors until they're gone. He can't make full use of his siege tanks, at least. So yeah, these guys, the Broodlings are fucking 3-2. Anyway, this is a scary... Idra is so good at getting upgrades for his ground units. It's just so good. And it looks like he's going to get a free siege tank here. Well, it was not cost effective. I say free, but he lost all the Lings that were trying to do it. And this whole line, it goes down, but it is mined out, so it's fine. The PF goes down. That's not a big deal, as it's not like it was an orbital command giving him mules or supply drops or anything like that. So not important. This Overlord blocking an expansion there, and a one single Broodlord there just to be pesky. Anyway, so Idra's army just kind of chilling over here on the right side of the map. It is going to be a very difficult army to deal with. This many Infestors with this many Broodlords, like, what do you do against that? And a couple Corruptors just in the mix for giggles and shits. But Bomber's not sitting on much of a bank right now. Because of mules and because of the heavy mineral build that he's going with, he really doesn't have much left. And he's spending every dime he makes. He's getting ghosts for that EMP and snipe against the Broodlords, because everything Zerg is bio, so snipe does wonders. and that's what he's going to need. So here go the Ghosts. Oh, they were up front. Let's see how he plays this. Broodling's going down, and let's see what the Ghost Micro does. Good EMPs, good EMPs! And Vikings trying to deal with the Corruptors. Broodling's getting in the mix. Fungal Growth, from the Infestors, tying down so many of the Marines. And it looks like Bomber just lost all his siege tanks. This command center will go down, as well as this PF. This is a good time to engage this while all of this is attacking the PF. But Bomber is just not in position to do anything. He does not have the unit count to do it either. A couple Vikings trying to pick off the Broodlords, but I think it's too late. Corruptors come in, and just, that is such a one-sided fight right there. A bunch of Broodlings just following the SCVs back, and this is all Bomber has left. And I really think it's time for him to tap out. This is nothing, and he's got no more mining, and his production is beginning to be whittled down and crippled. And Idra is sitting on a huge bank still with a very large army. Idra is maxed. Maxed on Broodlord, Infestor, Corruptor. That is a pretty impenetrable wall right there. I would smile really hard if a wicked nuke went down right now. That's the only way Bomber is going to beat this army. But I don't even think he has. He does have yeah, he could make a nuke, but I don't think he has one. 2 Ghosts on the way. These Ghosts do get. Wow, the EMPs that went down there are so beautiful. And he's got to get under those Broodlords. It's the only way. But a Fungal Growth causes Bomber to GG out, and that is Game 3. Idra taking the series from Bomber. Congratulations to Idra. Guys, I'm SSN Incarnum. Give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Add this video to favorites. Do whatever you like to do. And guys, I'll see you next time.